we don't see much of that now. As producers and leading characters in the film, was that an aspect that you liked about it?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely for I think
And
all of
thank
us.
you.
Yeah, we you know, Danny DeVito I think has a really good sense of this kind of comedy, and he loves movies, and he has
old-fashioned movies too.
Yeah, a real reference point for this movie. What were a lot of those kind of films you're talking about, and trying to also make the characters somewhat accessible, and you know, in a movie where they're doing these kind of sort of sometimes weird, you know, inaccessible things.
Like Preston Sturges always did that so well, and like we were talking about the Ealing comedies for this, and you know, although our film is, modern day, and you know, we tried to make it the best that we could, we definitely have those inspirations from those type of films and those filmmakers, so it's really nice to hear you say that.
Well, yeah, I think you're just involved more from the beginning, from, you know, just kind of the very beginning of the project right through to the end, and when you're just acting in a film, depending on, you know, it can depend on what the relationship is with the director or the studio or the producers, but since we were producers on this thing, we were involved all the way through.
Through all that work, it really benefited us developing the script and doing all the pre-production, because we had to spend a lot of time together, and as Ben said, make decisions, which is something that most couples do. I don't think any couple doesn't have to make decisions.
No, I mean, that's a big part of living with somebody or being married, is having to compromise and figure out how to get what you both want and feel good about it, make the other person feel good, and that's kind of what we were dealing with as we got, you know, closer to so by the time we were actually shooting, I think we knew each other pretty well.
Yeah, and we respected each other, and we were, you know, empowering each other as equals and figuring out what we both wanted creatively and what our vision was, and so that made us really familiar with each other by the time we got out there, which isn't always the case. I definitely think of all genres, comedy does make more sinister, you know, inappropriate things more palatable or tolerable, definitely, because you're laughing through it even if you feel guilty or you know it's wrong. I think that's a safe forum.
Yeah, I mean, also, I think this movie is about people who kind of want a little bit more than maybe they deserve, and that's something that's, I think, kind of relatable. People, you know, in our society, you know, you get something and then you go, well, I wish I had what they had. And in this movie, we have, you know, our friend Coop, who's you know, always doing a little bit better and always has a little bit more, and his book's a lot more successful, and so they're kind of the couple that the grass is always greener on their side of the fence, and we're, you know, so I think that's kind of a theme that goes through the movie. I mean, I think it's almost like they're not even aware of their own shortcomings, and they become more aware of it through the process of the movie and what they go through. But you know, obviously, the main thing is just hopefully it's funny.
Yeah, I agree.
Hopefully there's some laughs.
Yeah, if you're laughing, then we're happy.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And I think all those things are going on, and you want to have those things going on.
Yeah.
And if they're, you know, if they're there to find, if you want to find them.
Well, so much of everything that comes out of these situations is behavioral and provoked, and that's interesting to me. That goes into the psychoanalytical phase for me.
Obsessive a little bit over the.
She's also very like organized. I'm not organized. She's a yuppie. I'm a hippie.
I'm a yippie.
A yuppie hippie.
I don't know. Yippies were something, weren't they?
Yeah, it's a yuppie hippie.
I took yuppie and hippie.
It's a hippie.
You see what I did? I took yuppie and hippie and I put it together.
Yeah, it's a hippie that like lives in a sort of modern, slightly more materialistic, like, you know, world. Do you want to be a yippie?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No. Well, that's not bad. Is
no,
that bad?
It's not.
Yeah, I think
Instead
I am
of living like in a teepee, you're living in a house.
Right. That's me.
Yes.
I think she's in, you know, she's living in another era. She's kind of, you know, she's got what she has. She knows, you know, she has what she's lived there for years and years. She kind of deserves to have what she has, really. I think that's the thing. Like, I think young people sometimes look at old people with sort of like it's an ageism. It's an ageism that we're not aware of even.
Yeah.
Because my theory is that because we're all afraid of getting old. So when we see older people, we're afraid of it because we know that's where we're all headed.
Yeah, and I think that my character feels that way. I think she's a little bit nervous about old people. I'm more of the mind frame of, if you're old, you're so lucky, because that means you got to live your life, and that's really incredible, and the wisdom that comes from that. I have total respect and comfortability What? Not maybe not comfortability. Respect.
You're uncomfortable. With
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Oh, good.
I'm not uncomfortable with anybody.
She's very comfortable with people.
Very, of all ages.
Yeah. She makes people feel comfortable too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes I get a little nervous with some people, but I don't.
But that's just if someone you admire and you respect.
No.
No?
No.
Oh, just people who are weird, like weird people.
Yeah.
You